What's up there? This is AK Productions, and you're watching Top 10 Demanding PC Games of Current Generation, games a gamer wants to play, or to own them. Before moving on our Top 10 list, let's see some honorable mentions. Overwatch.
Hack complete. They're over here.
Fortnite. Just Cause 3. Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Terrorists win.
Moving to our Top 10 Demanding PC Games. Number 10. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Released on the 7th of March 2017, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is the 10th installment in the Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon franchise, and is the first game in the Ghost Recon series to feature an open-world environment.
Got eyes on White Hat.
Ubisoft described it as one of the biggest open-world games that they have published, with the game world including a wide variety of environments such as mountains, forests, deserts, and salt flats, etc.
Too hostile. 9 o'clock.
Alright, we're clear.
Careful now.
White Hat is inside. C4 in place. We're clear. Area secure.
Number 9. Grand Theft Auto 5. Released in September 2013, this game is still demanding even in 2018, especially in India. GTA 5 is an action-adventure video game developed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. The game is played from either a third-person or first-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. The single-player mode lets players control 3 characters: Michael Day Santa, Trevor Phillips and Franklin Clinton, whose stories interconnect as they complete missions. Some missions are completed with only one character and others feature 2 or 3. Players control the 3 lead protagonists throughout single-player and switch between them both during and outside missions. Players use melee attacks, firearms and explosives to fight enemies, and may run, jump, swim or use vehicles to navigate the world. Number 8. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Taking inspiration from the 1981 film The Evil Dead, Resident Evil 7. Biohazard is a survival horror game developed and published by Capcom, released in January 2017 for Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The player controls Ethan Winters from a first-person perspective as he searches the Baker house for his missing wife. Although Ethan is a civilian with few combat skills, he is able to arm himself with a variety of different weapons including handguns, shotguns, flamethrowers, explosives and chainsaws against the Baker family, and a humanoid form of fungus known as the Molded. Number 7. PlayerUnknown's Battleground. PlayerUnknown's Battleground PUBG is a multiplayer online battle royale game developed and published by PUBG Corporation. The game was released for Microsoft Windows via Steam's Early Access Beta program in March 2017, with a full release on December 20, 2017. PUBG is a player versus player action game in which up to 100 players fight in a battle royale, a type of large-scale last man standing deathmatch where players fight to remain the last alive. Players can choose to enter the match solo or with a small team of up to 4 people. In either case, the last person or team left alive wins the match. Number 6. Doom. Doom is a first-person shooter video game developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda Softworks. A reboot of the Doom franchise, it is the 4th title in the main series released on November 10, 2017. Players take the role of an unnamed space marine as he battles demonic forces from hell that have been unleashed by the Union Aerospace Corporation on a future set, colonized planet Mars. Many of the levels have multiple pathways and open areas, which allow players to explore and find collectibles and secrets throughout the levels. In Doom's multiplayer, there are several modes, such as Team Deathmatch, in which players can also use power-ups and teleporters. Players will be granted experience points upon each match. After they have collected sufficient experience points, players can level up, by which new armor, skins, weapons, and power-ups would be unlocked for players to use. Both the player character and weapon can be customized extensively by applying new skins and colors onto them. By its amazing gameplay, Doom is on 6th number in our list. Number 5. Rise of the Tomb Raider. It is released by Microsoft Studios for Xbox One and Xbox 360 in 2015. Square Enix released the game for Windows and PlayStation 4 in 2016. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a third-person action-adventure game in which players control Lara Croft, who is on a quest to discover the legendary city of Kydas. Combat is a major gameplay mechanic in Rise of the Tomb Raider, with Lara having a large arsenal of weapons at her disposal, including assault rifles, shotguns, and pistols, etc. Players can use bows and arrows to silently take out enemies, or create distractions which would draw enemies' attention away from Lara. Players can also hide in bushes to evade enemies without drawing their notice. Lara has the capability to use the environment to fight enemies, such as shooting explosive barrels, using rope arrows to destroy certain structures, or kill an enemy by ambushing them from high ground. In addition, Lara can use her pickaxe and combat knife to engage in melee combat with enemies. Completing objectives and side content, and eliminating enemies grant players with experience points. When players attain a sufficient amount of XP, they will level up, in which a skill point will be given for players to spend at the base camp. Throughout the game, Lara will learn new languages, which enables her to discover relics like coins that can be traded to purchase new equipments. Explore awe-inspiring deadly tombs, huge ancient spaces littered with deadly traps, solve dramatic environmental puzzles, and decipher ancient text to reveal crypts as you take on a world filled with secrets to discover. Rise of the Tomb Raider makes her place on the 5th number in our list.
Who the hell are you?
I suspect you already know.
Trinity. They're calling out. They're calling out. My
Number 4. Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 is a first-person shooter video game developed by EA DICE and published by Electronic Arts. Despite its name, Battlefield 1 is the 15th installment in the Battlefield series. It is set in the period of World War I and is inspired by historical events. Players can control several characters in the campaign. If the player dies in the prologue, they will then take control of another soldier and roll instead of reloading from a checkpoint. The game's multiplayer mode supports up to 64 players. Battlefield 1's multiplayer modes feature a number of game types seen in previous entries in the franchise, as well as new modes. The multiplayer mode makes this game more demanding. Number 3. Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is an action-adventure first-person shooter game developed by Ubisoft Montreal and Ubisoft Toronto, published by Ubisoft for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It is the 11th entry and the 5th main title in the Far Cry series, released on March 27, 2018. The game takes place in the fictional Hope County, Montana. The story follows an unnamed junior deputy sheriff who becomes trapped in Hope County and works alongside factions of the resistance to liberate the county from Eden's Gate. Player can explore freely on foot or via various vehicles. Unlike previous titles in the series, where the player takes on the role of a set character, the game gives the player the opportunity to customize their character's appearance. The player has a variety of ranged and explosive weapons to fight against enemies. Far Cry 5 features a new weapons ballistic system that includes elements like a bullet dropping over a distance to make it more realistic. The game also features a recruitment system in which the player can recruit locals in the county to fight alongside them, similar to the buddy system used in Far Cry 2. The player has the ability to tame wild animals through the Specialists, which is based on a system that was previously introduced to the series in Far Cry Primal. The tamed wildlife will assist the player in combat and follow the player's orders. Different wildlife have different combat patterns. The campaign can be played individually or with a partner through the game's cooperative multiplayer mode known as Friends for Hire. Due to realistic graphics and gameplay, this game captures the 3rd place in our list.
are the first to call themselves the Assassins.
Number 2. Assassin's Creed Origins. Assassin's Creed Origins is an action-adventure video game developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft. It is the 10th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series released worldwide for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The game is set in Egypt near the end of the Ptolemaic period 49 to 47 BCE and recounts the secret fictional history of real-world events. The story explores the origins of the centuries-long conflict between the Brotherhood of Assassins, who fight for peace by promoting liberty. The Eagle Vision mode, which was used by the franchise to give the player the ability to scout an area by highlighting enemies and objects, has been replaced by a Bonelli's eagle named Sanu as a companion. The player can also tame various predators which will serve as a companion for the player and assist them against enemies. For all its extraordinary visual splendor, Assassin's Creed Origins is ultimately an ordinary video game.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Finally, our number 1 most demanding PC game, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is a 2015 action role-playing video game developed and published by CD Projekt. Played in an open world with a third-person perspective, players control protagonist Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter known as a Witcher, who is looking for his missing adopted daughter. On the run from the Wild Hunt and otherworldly force determined to capture and use her powers. Players battle the game's many dangers with weapons and magic, interact with non-player characters, and complete main story and side quests to acquire experience points and gold, which are used to increase Geralt's abilities and purchase equipment. Its central story is several endings, determined by the player's choices at certain points in the game. Witcher 3 has a great RPG system and a huge open world to discover. It has an absorbing, deep role-playing system, with its huge, coherent and immersive game world. Due to its beautifully rendered characters and scenery, crammed with interesting quests, side quests and activities. Huge, coherent and immersive game world, this game really deserves the first place in our top 10 list. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.